What if the very first thing you pour into a glass tomorrow morning is silently sending your blood sugar on a roller coaster before you even take a bite of breakfast? And what if, instead, a simple, forgotten drink could help your body gently calm that storm overnight? Every day in my clinic, I see good, hardworking people who feel like they are doing everything right, yet they are fighting a losing battle with their own bodies. They wake up tired. They face a mid-afternoon wall of exhaustion. If that sounds familiar, I want you to take a deep breath. It's not because you lack willpower. It might just be that your morning routine is speaking a language your body doesn't understand. Hello, dear friends. I'm Dr. Martha. Over the last 30 years of practicing medicine, I have held the hands of thousands of patients who sat right where you might be sitting today. They look at me with tears of frustration in their eyes and they say, "Doctor, I don't understand. I'm eating less. I'm trying so hard, but I'm still gaining weight around my middle. My mind feels cloudy, and by 3 in the afternoon, the cravings for something sweet or salty are so loud, I can't focus on my work or my family." It is a heartbreaking cycle. Millions of people are walking around right now with blood sugar levels that are quietly creeping upward, and they don't even realize it. They think the brain fog is just a sign of getting older. They think waking up 3 times a night is just normal stress. But your body doesn't speak in medical jargon. It speaks in symptoms. It whispers to you through that stubborn fatigue, that sudden irritability, and that feeling of being completely wiped out even after 8 hours of sleep. We try to ignore these early warning signs. We push through with another cup of coffee or a sugary snack to get us through the day, promising ourselves we'll start a new diet next Monday. But diets can feel so clinical, so restrictive, and quite frankly, lonely. Today, I want to step away from the rigid charts and the overwhelming prescriptions for just a moment. I want to talk to you like a friend, someone who sees you, understands your frustration, and knows that real lasting health isn't built on drastic deprivation. It's built on small, compassionate daily choices. And today, we are going to talk about one very specific, powerful choice you can make before you even step out of your kitchen tomorrow morning. To understand why this morning choice matters so much, we have to look at what happens while you are asleep. Many people assume that because they aren't eating for 8 hours, their blood sugar naturally drops to its lowest point by morning. But biology is rarely that simple. While you are resting, your liver is actually hard at work. Think of your liver as a small, dedicated storage unit for energy. When you sleep, it slowly releases glucose into your bloodstream to keep your brain active and your heart pumping. But for many of us, especially as the years go by, our cells become a bit stubborn. They don't want to let that glucose in. This is what we call insulin resistance. Have you ever woken up at 3 or 4 in the morning, your heart racing just a little bit, suddenly wide awake for no apparent reason? That is often a sign of a midnight blood sugar crash. When your blood sugar drops too low, your body panics. It releases a spike of stress hormones like cortisol to trigger the liver to dump more sugar into your system. So, ironically, you wake up at 7 a.m. with high blood sugar, feeling parched, stiff, and utterly exhausted, even though you haven't eaten a thing since dinner. Your body spent the entire night fighting an internal war while you were trying to rest. But the real danger begins before breakfast even starts. Let me tell you about a patient of mine named Robert. Robert is a retired school teacher, a wonderful man in his early 60s. He came to see me because his fasting blood sugar numbers were creeping into the pre-diabetic range, and he was terrified. He watched his own father struggle with the complications of diabetes, and he didn't want to go down that road. Robert told me, "Dr. Martha, I am being so good. I stopped eating dessert, but every morning I walk into the kitchen, I pour myself a big glass of orange juice because I thought it was healthy, and I put 2 little teaspoons of honey in my black coffee." My heart sank a little because Robert truly believed he was doing the right thing. When you drink juice or add sweeteners to your coffee on an empty stomach first thing in the morning, you are hitting your system with a sledgehammer. Without any fiber, fat, or protein to slow it down, that liquid sugar rushes straight into your bloodstream. Your pancreas has to go into overdrive, pumping out a massive wave of insulin to clear the traffic jam. Within an hour or two, that sugar crashes. And what happens when you crash? You feel starving. You feel shaky. You find yourself reaching for a pastry or a second breakfast because your brain is screaming for quick energy. Most people drink this every morning without realizing the damage they are doing to their metabolism before the day has even properly begun. Let's look under the hood for a moment, using very simple terms. Think of insulin as a doorman. Every time you eat or drink something that breaks down into sugar, insulin's job is to take that sugar by the hand, walk it over to your muscle and liver cells, unlock the door, and let the sugar inside to be used for energy. When you are young and active, the doorman works perfectly. The doors open easily. But over time, due to chronic stress, processed foods, or just regular aging, those cell doors get rusty. The doorman knocks, but the cells pretend they aren't home. They ignore the signal. So what does your body do? It hires more doormen. It pumps out higher and higher levels of insulin just to force those rusty doors open. When your body is constantly flooded with insulin, a few things happen. First, high insulin completely blocks your body's ability to burn fat for fuel. It locks the fat away in storage, particularly around your belly. Second, those high levels cause your blood sugar to drop rapidly after a meal, triggering intense, uncontrollable cravings for carbohydrates. It is a vicious, exhausting cycle. You eat carbs, your insulin spikes, your sugar crashes, you crave more carbs, and your cells remain starving for actual energy because the doors are locked. This is why you can eat a large meal and still feel tired an hour later. Your cells are literally swimming in a sea of glucose, but they can't drink a single drop. So, how do we begin to oil those rusty doors? How do we help the doorman do his job without causing a panic in your body? We do it by introducing a gentle, supportive ritual before the coffee, before the toast, and before the stress of the day takes over. This surprised even some of my patients because they were looking for a complicated medication when the answer was sitting right in their pantry. I want to introduce you to a simple morning tonic. Now, let me be very clear. This is not a magical cure. There are no miracles in a single glass that can undo years of poor habits overnight. Anyone who tells you otherwise is selling you an illusion, and you deserve the truth. But what this drink can do is act as a gentle mediator. It sets a calm tone for your metabolism, helping to smooth out those sharp glucose spikes and improve your body's natural insulin sensitivity. The foundation of this drink is remarkably simple. A large glass of lukewarm or warm water, not ice cold, because warm water is much gentler on an empty stomach and helps stimulate your digestive tract naturally. But it's what we add to this water that changes everything. Our first key ingredient is something you might use in your autumn baking, but it belongs in your daily wellness routine. High-quality, organic cinnamon. Not just any cinnamon, though. If you can, look for Ceylon cinnamon, often called true cinnamon. It is much gentler on the liver when used daily compared to the common cassia cinnamon you find on most grocery shelves. Why cinnamon? Well, nature is incredibly wise. Modern studies have shown that cinnamon contains natural compounds that mimic the action of insulin. It essentially goes to those rusty cell doors we talked about and helps loosen the lock. It encourages your muscles to absorb glucose from your blood more efficiently, even without requiring a massive spike of insulin from your pancreas. Just half a teaspoon of cinnamon mixed into warm water can significantly reduce that post-meal blood sugar spike. But we aren't stopping there. To make this truly effective, we add 1 tablespoon of raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar, the kind that still has the cloudy "mother" floating at the bottom. Now I know what you might be thinking. Dr. Martha, vinegar first thing in the morning? That sounds incredibly sour. I understand. It takes a little getting used to, but let me tell you why it is worth it. Apple cider vinegar contains acetic acid. When you consume acetic acid before a meal or first thing in the morning, it temporarily slows down the rate at which your stomach empties food into your small intestine. This means whatever you eat next is digested much more slowly and evenly. Furthermore, acetic acid possesses a wonderful ability to stop your muscles from breaking down stored sugars too quickly, while simultaneously helping your liver manage its overnight glucose release. It's like putting a gentle speed limit on your metabolism, so your blood sugar flows like a calm, steady river rather than a raging waterfall. If you wake up tired every day, pay attention to this next part. When you sleep, you lose a significant amount of moisture just through your breath. You wake up in a mild state of dehydration. Dehydration concentrates the sugar in your blood. If you have less water in your veins, the concentration of glucose naturally goes up. By simply drinking a large glass of water first thing, you are instantly diluting that sugar and helping your kidneys flush out any excess. To make this drink even more comforting and powerful, I often recommend my patients grate a small dime-sized piece of fresh ginger into it or squeeze in a bit of fresh lemon juice. Ginger is a beautiful, natural anti-inflammatory. Chronic low-grade inflammation is like a low fire burning inside your tissues, and it makes insulin resistance significantly worse. By calming that inflammation, you give your metabolism a breathing room. And if you struggle with deep, persistent morning hunger, you can add a teaspoon of chia seeds and let them sit for 5 minutes until they swell. These tiny seeds are packed with soluble fiber. They form a soothing gel in your digestive tract that acts as a natural barrier, slowing down the absorption of sugars from your breakfast and keeping you feeling full and grounded well into the afternoon. Think of this drink as a protective shield for your body. You are filling your system with hydration, anti-inflammatories, and natural insulin sensitizers before the chaos of the day begins. When I sit in my office at the end of a long day, reviewing patient charts, I don't just see numbers on a page. I see lives. I see a mother who wants to have the energy to play with her grandchildren. I see a grandfather who wants to make sure he is around to see his granddaughter walk down the aisle. There is a quiet, heavy fear that comes with watching your health slowly decline. You see your fasting numbers go from 95 to 105 to 115. You feel your clothes getting tighter, your energy getting lower, and you start to feel like a stranger in your own skin. It is terrifying to feel like you are losing control of your own body. But I want to remind you of something incredibly important. Your body is not your enemy. It is not trying to fail you. It is simply exhausted. It has been working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, trying to protect you from the modern world, from the hidden sugars in our food, from the chronic stress of our lives, and from the lack of true rest. Your body is incredibly resilient. It wants to heal. It is constantly waiting for you to give it the right tools, the right signals, so it can begin to repair itself. Your body may already be giving you warning signs, not to punish you, but to ask for your help. And caring for your body before problems worsen is the greatest act of kindness you can show to yourself and to the people who love you. Tomorrow morning, when you open your eyes, I want you to try something different. Don't rush straight to the television or your phone. Don't immediately reach for the sugary creamer. Walk into your kitchen. Take a clean glass. fill it with warm water. Stir in half a teaspoon of true cinnamon, a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, and perhaps a squeeze of fresh lemon or a bit of ginger. Drink it slowly. Take a few deep breaths. Feel the warmth filling your stomach and know that you are taking a beautiful, deliberate step toward reclaiming your health. Remember, small, consistent daily habits create massive health changes over time. Your blood sugar didn't change overnight, and it won't stabilize perfectly in a single day. But with consistency, patience, and self-compassion, you will be amazed at how quickly your body responds. The brain fog will lift, the afternoon crashes will begin to fade. You will find your steady, vibrant energy returning. It is never, ever too late to take care of the only home you truly have. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If you found this helpful, and if you want to join our little community of individuals dedicated to healing gently and naturally, please take a moment to click the like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps me know that these words are reaching the hearts and homes where they are needed most. Before you go, please drop a comment below and tell me, what does your current morning routine look like? Do you have a favorite healthy drink? Or are you going to try this warm cinnamon and vinegar water tomorrow morning? I read as many of your comments as I can, and I truly love hearing your stories. Until next time, my dear friends, be kind to yourself, take care of your body, and stay well. I'll see you in our next video.